So, Per, speaking about facilitation and this notion that Legos Use Play is an open source,
Yeah.
so everybody can facilitate Legos Use Play session.
Yep.
What do you think about that?
No, in a sense, I mean, we can start with saying, in a sense, it's a fantastic thing, right? It's, accessible knowledge is always, in principle, good. I think MIT has a lot of their programs, a lot of their reading, a lot of their knowledge, so to speak, is open. So in that sense, it's a good thing, right? But I think you and I have spoken about earlier, Claudia, was this notion of that reading things helps you understand, but it does mean you understand it deeply. And I think that also relates to this. So it's a fair and objectively true statement that anybody can facilitate, can say at least, it's an objective truth. So it's true that everybody can say that they're facilitating with Lego Series. Everybody can say that they're facilitating with LSP. Everybody can. That's not protected. So that's fine and fair. Just like, as we spoke about in a previous conversation, everybody can say that they're a manager. That's also true. In neither case do you need to have an official stamp. In neither case is it a professional stamp you get, right? Anybody can be a manager. Anybody can be a facilitator. Anybody can say that they're a series play facilitator. This doesn't mean that you deliver value, whether you are a manager or a LSP facilitator, right? It doesn't mean that you get the best out of people. It does mean that you create sustainable results. So in that sense, manager, facilitator, they're completely parallel or analogous, right? So I think what matters here, as a manager and as a series play facilitator, is that you truly understand what you're doing, that you know the tools that are available, and you know some of the science behind what you're doing. These are also things we learn when we go to business school, right? We learn some science, some math, some so forth and so on, and that's the same we do in Lego Series Play in our trainings in the association. Our participants, they learn the craft, so they learn the tools. They learn about some of the science, just enough to study it further. They learn these things. We have conversations about the personal style that we bring. So it's bringing these things together. And bringing together is something we also start on the training. And you know how we talk about that great facilitation extends beyond the actual workshop, in the sense it extends beyond the time in the room. Because to deliver here, you need to deliver earlier. To deliver earlier means understanding your client's need. It means designing the workshop. It means crafting the questions in the workshop. It means knowing what you want to do if your client needs more time on a topic, what can you then check out? It means if something goes faster, what can you add in? So it means knowing all of this. And some of the time that on the training, we actually spent on this. We spent on helping our participants in the training learn a different approach for having client interviews before the actual design. So they learn a really unique way, we call it 3D interviewing, to have these questions, have them in a particular way, to particular speed, so that they really go beyond the symptoms the client is suffering from. So to go in and actually understand the real need. Then they practice designing this workshop with the timing and the actual questions in it. So they get this, let's call it a dry run on the training, but it's really a dry run in the sense that a good number of the people on the training, they get to take this, and I'll rephrase that, I'm so sorry, they get to do this so that they're prepared for their first workshop. Because one of the things we know, and I know you know, is that the people that go and do something with Lego Serious Play really quickly after the training are the most successful. So they're really leaving the training with their first design ready. So in a sense, another analogy we could come up with here is like a great bottle of wine, right? A great bottle of wine, of course, depends on what happens in the wine cellar. Of course, the fermentation, the clearing, the storing of the wine on barrels and all of that stuff is really, really important. That's what happens in the workshop room, right, for us. A great wine producer knows when to move the wine from this barrel to that barrel, to mix that barrel with that barrel. They know that. That's the same. A great facilitator in the room knows what to do in the room. But a great wine producer cannot make great wine if they don't have the right grapes coming into the cellar. They need to do the great work in the vineyard as well. Tending to the plants, understanding what the plants need, harvesting in the right moment, right? If you bring rubbish grapes into a wine cellar, even the best wine producer cannot create great wine. So part of the great facilitation is also the work you do before, if that makes sense as an analogy for what we're also doing.
So your conclusion in this analogy, it is, just to wrap up all the things that you say, how could you wrap up this?
I
to
think
make a statement about that.
Yeah. I mean, I want to go back to what I said in the beginning. I think that everybody can say that everybody can say they deliver Lego Serious Play. That's absolutely true. But that doesn't mean that everybody can really deliver Lego Serious Play. Or let me do it. Everybody can say they do Lego Serious Play. They're totally allowed to do that. This doesn't mean that everybody can deliver value with Lego Serious Play.
And maybe for our next video, let's explain what is delivery value in Lego Serious Play, in a Lego Serious Play session. Are you okay with that?
Absolutely.
So see you next time.